Welcome, beloveds. Welcome home to Between Lovers, where soul meets story. I'm T, your sacred guide. And today, you're invited to something rare and real, a soft place to land. Because I know there's so much noise out there, so much fear, so much tension in your chest just from waking up and looking around. And joy feels distant for some. Not because they don't want it, but because they've been surviving for far too long. So long that they forgot what it's like to feel light. So this episode is your invitation, not to escape the world, but to exhale in it, to feel seen, to feel softened, to remember joy not as a luxury, but as a birthright. You don't have to earn your joy. You don't have to smile through pain. You just have to sit down for a minute and let your soul breathe. Let's go there. I'll meet you in the garden. Let's be honest. Some days, you don't even want to get out of bed. Sometimes the world just feels too loud, too much pressure, too many demands on your spirit that no one can see. And sometimes, you feel like you've been smiling so long your face forgot how to rest. You're the strong one, the dependable one, the got it together one. But there are also those who are the ones going through the motions. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes you're the one going through the motions, numbing out with routine, medicating through life and calling it norm, stuck in comfort zones that don't comfort. Sometimes you're the one who's blaming the world for your unhappiness, but deep down you know you haven't been showing up for yourself either. Sometimes you've been selfish, not in a sacred way, but in a disconnected way. Isolation and silence are not the same, making choices based on fear, convenience, or old wounds. And sometimes you've been pretending to be happy because your life looks luxurious, but your soul feels empty, or to simply keep up the facade. There's a woman like so many others. She poured her truth out with trembling honesty. She says she hates her life. She regrets becoming a mother, not because she doesn't love her child, but because the relationship feels strained and she feels unloved in return. She works every single day, long hours. She's tired, burnt out, miserable, but still trying, still showing up, still saying, I won't complain, as if speaking truth somehow cancels gratitude. But what I've seen in so many women like her, is the silent scream of a world that forgot how to be alive. And some of the men are no different. There's a man, like so many others, carrying silent grief behind his steady eyes. He regrets the path he chose, not because he hates his responsibility, but because he feels unseen in it. He wakes up before the sun, goes to work, carries burdens no one asks about, returns home to a life that feels more like duty than joy. He's tired, burnt out, miserable, but still trying, still showing up, still saying, I'm good, as if admitting his emptiness would make him weak. But what I've seen in so many men just like him, is the silent scream of a world that never gave them permission to feel alive. And then there are the relationships, where two people stay together just to say they have someone. They post smiles for the world while quietly starving inside, never feeling seen or heard, clamoring for attention in places their partner's presence no longer reaches, existing side by side but never truly together, calling it love when really it's just loneliness shared between two people who forgot how to choose themselves first. And the children, they're not oblivious, they're responding, not just to the words or the mood swings, but to the energy, the invisible grief leaking from pores, to the quiet resignation behind their mother's eyes. They can feel it, they carry it. They know when you've given up, even if you still keep going, even if you still feed them, even if you still smile. They still feel the absence. And they feel it from their fathers, too. They see the silence behind his tired smile. They sense the rage he swallows down just to keep peace. They notice the empty stares in the distance when he thinks no one is watching. They feel the heaviness he carries in his chest, the one he thinks he hides so well. They feel it in homes where two people exist together but are worlds apart. They hear the shallow conversations. They witness the forced laughter. They feel the cold spaces between their parents' words. They watch love become performance. And their young hearts wonder if connection is even real or just a facade adults put on to survive. And then there are the children whose parents don't even see them, who wake up each day knowing that someone who helped bring them here doesn't play a part in their daily lives. Children who carry silent questions like bricks in their chest. Am I worth showing up for? Am I forgettable? Why wasn't I enough to be chosen every day? Because children don't need your perfection, they need your truth. They need your presence. They need your aliveness. They need to feel that love is more than duty and silent suffering. They need to feel that it is real because you remember how to be. And it makes sense why some children are asking the hardest questions. Why did you bring me here? Why do I have to stay? Do you actually want me, or did you just have me because it was expected? Would you still love me if I didn't act the way you wanted me to? Why don't you smile when you look at me? Why do you love your pain more than you love your peace? Why do you tell me to be happy when I've never seen you happy? Why do you ask me what I want to be when I grow up, when all I see is you wishing you were someone else? Why do you teach me about God but never show me love? Why did you bring me here to a life that you don't even seem to want for yourself? Because in their hearts they feel the weight of unlived joy all around them. They see parents who are merely surviving. They sense homes filled with duty but empty of delight. They wonder why life was giving if living feels like a burden that no one wants to carry. They question their own existence, not because they're ungrateful, but because they feel what the world has done to the ones who brought them in. They wonder if life is supposed to feel this heavy, or if someone forgot to show them how to fly. This isn't about shame. This is about love, and the sacred invitation to come back to life. To those parts of you, I still see you. I especially see you. The tired parts, the silent parts, the parts that ache in the dark, wondering if anyone notices your quiet disappearing acts. You are not fake. You are not broken. You are not unworthy of joy just because you forgot how to feel it. You are not too much. You are not too sensitive. You are not a burden to love. You're simply a soul trying to survive in a world that never taught you how to truly live. A world that praised your productivity while starving your spirit. A world that taught you to smile through grief and call it strength. But hear this. Joy can't live in a house built on avoidance. Peace won't bloom in the soil of denial. Healing doesn't begin at perfection. It begins with honesty, trembling truth, with whispered prayers that sound like, help me. Help me remember who I am. So come and sit down. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to be the hero today. You don't have to perform worthiness to deserve rest. You just have to be willing. Willing to feel. Willing to be real. Willing to say, I'm tired of hiding from myself. Willing to believe that the divine still sees beauty in what you call broken. There's still a seat for you in the garden. The blanket's still warm. Plate still full. The sun still rises for you and the wind still carries your name. You don't have to arrive cheerful to be cherished. You just have to arrive. Your joy hasn't left yet. It's just been buried under shame, stories, and silence. But we're digging it up today, together, because joy is not a trick. It's not a trap. It's your soul's inhale. Let it in. Before we move into our soul reflections today, there's something else I need you to hear. Because after all this truth, after all of this remembering, there's a deeper layer I want to leave with you. A reminder I spoke on my TikTok very recently. Words that rose from the same place this message is coming from now. They won't call it normal. They'll call it common. Because hatred is not natural. It's just been practiced so long it becomes the neighborhood's favorite sport. Passed down like family recipes, shared like gossip on front porches, served cold at dinner tables where grace was never said. But tell me this. When did it become so common to hate a stranger you've never met? When did anger become currency for people too broken in spirit to invest in healing? When did sameness become safety and clones become cool? When I was coming up, looking like everyone else meant you were jocking their style. Now it's becoming trendy, popular, influential. But let me ask you, if everyone is following, who's leading? If everyone's blending, who's remembering? If everyone's cloning, who's creating? And ask yourself, what would a world look like with these things in play? If hate is leading, what would the world look like? It would look a lot like exhaustion, like simply going through the motions with people you say you love and you care for, but you're not actually experiencing them because you're experiencing the hell that you've created for yourself. People may call this kind of behavior common, but common doesn't mean natural. Common just means you bought what they sold you. And popularity is cheaper than authenticity because being yourself costs everything you built to hide who you really are. Happy people ain't out here seething in comment sections. They're too busy healing their lineages, raising children who aren't broken by the world's projections, building lives rooted in soul, not in feeds. Common doesn't mean divine. Common doesn't mean it's your assignment. So be uncommon. Be unboxed. Be unshamed to walk alone if that's what truth requires. Because when your soul starts pushing back against what's common, it's just waking you up to what's true. And beloved, please hear me. You weren't born to be common. You weren't designed to dim your colors to fit grayscale feeds. You weren't sculpted by the divine to be consumed and discarded. You were made to radiate a frequency that was never walked this earth before your form. The world's got enough clones. It needs you, whole, unmasked, remembered, and free. Now grab your pen and your pad or open your notes app. It's time for soul reflections. Take these with you after the episode. Number 1. Where have I grown so used to survival that I've forgotten how to live? Number 2. What might my children, partner, or inner child be feeling from my energy, even when I say nothing at all? Number 3. Am I offering love with the same depth that I wish to receive it from myself and others? Number 4. What would it look like to come back to life, not just for others, but for me? Number 5. What truth have I been afraid to name, believing it makes me ungrateful, when in fact, it's my doorway to healing? Breathe. Speak gently to your truth. It's okay to start again, not because you failed, but because you're ready to feel fully. Take one breath with me right now. Feel your chest rise. Remember you are alive. That's your miracle today. You've been listening to Between Lovers, the Heart and Soul Chronicles. This episode was a love letter, not just to those surviving, but to those still carrying the quiet hope that joy is possible. But before you go, a few more things. Hatred's not normal. It's not normal to look yourself in the face and hate what you see. It's not normal to see another human and despise their existence for simply breathing. By its very description, hatred is a disease. The type of rage corrodes your spirit, destroys your internal organs, and creates all kinds of long-term problems. Here's the truth. When you live in chronic hatred, disdain, or anger, it activates and maintains the amygdala, the fear and threat center of your brain, keeping your nervous system in a constant state of hyperarousal, trauma activity, and internal conflict. Your brain wasn't designed to stay there. These states were meant for survival moments, not daily existence. When you keep replaying past trauma, your brain's hippocampus and amygdala cannot distinguish memory from current reality. Every time you ruminate, it activates the trauma as if it were happening right now, flooding your body with the same cortisol, adrenaline, and inflammatory stress chemicals that damage your physical health over time. Hatred has fueled every single problem on earth. It has also fueled the silent problems inside the body, from heart disease to immune suppression to cognitive decline. You are deserving, but you will never feel it until you release. Really sit down with this. Have your behaviors, beliefs, and efforts led you to become a blissful, compassionate being, full of love, feeling loved, rooted in healthy boundaries, who positively aids humanity, who aims for equity, reverence, and genuine partnerships within humanity? Or have they led you to become resentful, jealous, bitter, gossiping, low in self-worth, self-loathing, argumentative, and simply a shell of a person disconnected from your divine design? No one owes you anything that you will not first honor within yourself. You must become your standard. Forgive yourself. Once you determine your truth, how will you move forward with healing? Please don't be ashamed of yourself so much that you never admit this and never seek assistance. We can all get better. And if I can assist, I'm here. Feel that truth in my tone. Listen, love is not the coddling trend that absolves people of responsibility and accountability. Coddling, oh man, it's that excessive indulgence or overprotectiveness that keeps people comfortable in their dysfunction, and it has been one of the most destructive additions to humanity. Because true love is corrective. It calls you higher so your fullest, most divine version can thrive. It won't be easy to transform a mindset of entitled bitterness or privileged resentment. But with truth to self, it's possible. Ask yourself, are you entitled in your bitterness? Are you privileged in your resentment? Because everyone's going through something. Everyone has been through something. You do not have the monopoly on trauma and pain. Today, choose love. Choose you. Choose compassion. Choose humanity. Listen, beloveds, if you've heard these words, if you heard yourself in these words, if your soul whispered, "I'm tired too," know that you are not alone. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling what you feel. We are not here to perform wholeness. We are here to return to it. And if this episode touched you, please share it. Leave a review. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and leave me a review. I would greatly appreciate it. But share this with a friend, your partner, a parent, or even your past self. Read it to your inner child. Say it to your inner child. Let your inner child hear and receive, and apologize to your inner child. You can find more courses, soul sessions, and sacred resources at betweenlovers.com, or follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Between Lovers, BTWNLVRS. You don't have to earn your joy. It's already yours. I am T, your sacred guide, and this has been Between Lovers, the Heart and Soul Chronicles. Until next time, walk gently, walk boldly, walk soulfully, and above all, remember, you were born to live.